Remember those Visit Florida commercials where the little white cloud went over the sun and the women in the lounge chairs complained that the weather was better yesterday? While you can expect a good dose of Florida sunshine, the weather at Walt Disney World can be completely unpredictable. Many even joke that you can set your clock by the afternoon thunderstorms. Here are some of my tips and tricks for visiting Walt Disney World in the heat, cold, and rain. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more Disney travel tips, planning advice, and so much more. My name's Christina, and I'm the owner of Showcase the World Travel, a modern travel agency dedicated to helping make family vacation planning as effortless as possible for busy moms. I visit Walt Disney World multiple times a year, and I've helped hundreds of families plan trips that are enjoyable and memorable for the whole family.
I'm Christina. I'm a traveler, a planner, and most importantly, a mom. I'm sharing my best tips to make traveling as a family a little less stressful. So put down your phone, pack your bags, and let's showcase the world.
We're going to jump right in and start talking about the heat. It is so important that you stay hydrated. I'm going to spend a lot of time on this topic because it is that important. It is probably the number one thing that can help prevent those less than magical meltdowns. You can buy waters in the park, but that can get expensive. So some alternatives are traveling with a collapsible water bottle or get cases of water delivered to your hotel room. I love to get groceries delivered, so I did a whole video on what I get delivered and by who that you can check out if that's something you're interested in. I like to put mine in the itty bitty freezer at night and they stay colder in your bag longer. So I'll typically put one frozen water bottle and one cold water bottle per person. We go back to the room in the middle of the day, which we'll talk about in just a second, and then we refill our water bottles. If you don't want to carry the water bottles, you can always get cups of water for free at any counter service restaurant, but they're very small cups, so I do recommend carrying your own water bottle or getting some delivered. The other thing that I would recommend in the heat is getting to the park early. The heat of the day is the early afternoon. If you get to the park when it opens, you can get a lot done before the sun reaches its height. You also get ahead of all of the crowds. Spend the hottest part of the day inside an air-conditioned restaurant, swimming in the pool, or napping back at the hotel. It's also the most crowded time of the day, so this tip helps with both the heat and the crowds. The third thing I'm going to say for the heat is to be comfortable. When you're planning out your packing list, consider moisture-wicking fabric. Pack some extra bicycle shorts if you're planning on wearing dresses or shorts in the park. Body Glide and powder are a must. Also, never, ever, ever wear new shoes. Pack multiple pairs and plenty of Band-Aids. I usually pack about 1.5 outfits per day during my trips in the summer, so that when we go back to the hotel in the afternoon, we can take a shower and put on non-sweaty clothes, and it totally changes what our moods are for the afternoon. There are 5 things that I think that you should pack for every trip, and of course, I did a video on it. Check it out. The last one for the heat is to be prepared. While you may not associate Florida with the cold, there are definitely chilly evenings and even frigid days. If you're traveling November through March, pack a heavier sweater or jacket just in case. It can be extremely hot in the middle of winter as well, so plan to wear layers. I see this question all the time. What is the weather going to be like for my Christmas trip? And I've been Christmas multiple times. One year it was 40 degrees, the next one it was 90, and then another time it was 70. So just make sure you're prepared. You have layers, unless you want an excuse to buy a sweatshirt in the park. I love packing for my Disney trips, planning my outfits on the theme of the day, but I know that that's not the case for most people, which is why I've included packing lists in my Walt Disney World planning bundle. One of the things that you should definitely pack is a poncho or 2. Ponchos are great for Florida's typical afternoon showers. I like the dollar store ones. They're light, they're compact, and they're disposable. They're perfect to carry in a small bag just in case. They also work well to protect a stroller, lay wet on a wet bench, or keep dry on the water slides. I hate putting on a wet poncho, which is why I like to bring a few extra disposable ponchos so that I don't have to put a wet one back on. My husband doesn't like those ones. He likes the more structured ponchos that Disney sells and can be reused year after year. It is a little bit bulkier, so I do make him carry his own, but those are your two options when it comes to ponchos. I definitely wouldn't recommend a raincoat unless you're going during hurricane season and it's expected to rain all day. If you're just going when they're going to have a afternoon shower, then the ponchos should be just fine. You don't have to carry the rain jacket. The rain jackets get a little bit warm. One thing I do want to point out is sometimes you'll look at a weather app and it looks like it's going to rain every day of your trip. Don't let that scare you. It usually just means there's going to be the afternoon rainstorm. So check out the hour by hour on AccuWeather or a more reliable source than just the weather app on your phone, and it will help you get a better idea of what the weather's actually going to be like, so you don't think that it's going to be raining the whole time when it's really just that afternoon rainstorm. You want to consider your footwear here as well. There's nothing worse than wet sneakers or soggy socks. So if you know it's going to rain, consider wearing a comfortable, structured sandal that has a back and will not become slippery in puddles. I love my Anus. I got them on Amazon. They're not currently available, so I have a few pairs of Skechers that I wore on my last trip and I absolutely loved. Crocs and Tevias are also popular, but you definitely want that structure to help with all of that walking. You want the back to make sure that you're not slipping in the rain. And I like to always pack multiple pairs of shoes. So if I have a wet pair of shoes, I can wear a different pair the next day. Because if you end up putting on a wet pair of shoes, that's going to be a blister waiting to happen. The other thing that I want to point out is you want to plan your afternoon. So if you're going back to the hotel to escape the heat in the afternoon, you're probably going to escape the thunderstorm as well. If you're not going back to your hotel, you don't want to take that afternoon break, save anytime attractions for the afternoon. This will help you avoid the heat of the day, the bulk of the crowds, and the afternoon monsoon. I would suggest great nearby anytime attractions in your touring plan when you book your vacation with me. I have a whole video on places to escape the afternoon rain, so definitely be sure to check that one out as well. Ton of resources for you. So for both the rain and heat, it's important to know where you can escape, what queues are covered, what shows are air conditioned. My attraction guides have a matrix with all that important stuff and none of the fluff. So you can get those and the packing list I mentioned earlier as a part of my planning bundle. The link is below. Please hit the bell for more Walt Disney World planning tips. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to take a break from the busy.
Need help planning your next family vacation? Visit us at showcasetheworld.com to request a quote or schedule a free vacation consultation. Want more great travel tips? You'll find those there too.